Hello there, you're listening to the Sort Yourself Out podcast. This week, we're discussing how to release the past and embrace the future. I'm your host, Janine Hunt, natural health therapist for over 30 years, hypnotherapist, lifelong student, and spiritual seeker. I like to seek out the most effective practices and techniques that provide the greatest bang for my buck and the fastest route to freedom from whatever is holding us back. I can't wait to share with you these powerful techniques so that you too can sort yourself out, know deeper meaning in your life, and best of all, a sense of inner peace. So let's get started. Well, hello there, and thank you so much for joining me today. So, here we are in April. I can't believe we're already here. So, we're many months on from our New Year's resolutions. Hopefully, you're hanging in there and you're killing it and you're crushing it, really moving forward with your goals and plans. But many of us will be feeling discouraged because we made the New Year's resolutions and we may even have stuck with them for a while, but then we fell off the wagon and reverted to our old ways. And that usually leaves us feeling discouraged and disheartened, and maybe even beating ourselves up and calling ourselves a failure. But you don't have to call this a failure or let it define the rest of your year or your beliefs about yourself. Generally, we don't succeed at making changes we want for ourselves because we're carrying around old and outdated ideas about who we are, what we're capable of, and what the world is like. Our inner software is out of date. And although we may consciously desire to change in the way we've decided, we have unconscious programs that conflict with our new ideas. And those are the ideas that are running the show. And they've been with us for years, planted in us by parents, teachers, and society in general. There's even a lot of headspace given to really damaging programs planted in us by the media and advertisers who teach us messed up ways about how we need to be in order to be lovable or worthy. This is conditioning that leads us to hate ourselves and that causes us so much misery in the years to come as we try to free ourselves from the absurd images of, say, what a woman should look like or how a real man should behave. However that programming got there, we do not need to be at its mercy. The good news is that we can let it all go and choose differently. At every moment, you have the power to begin again, to make a fresh start. So if you fell off the wagon of whatever your particular New Year's resolution was, take heart and give yourself a pat on the back for your desire to change and the effort you made. Now, those efforts were based on the old you, the past you, and the fact that they didn't stick shows that there are some ideas, thoughts, or beliefs within you that need upgrading. This is good information to know. Who you are today is based on all of the decisions, choices, thoughts, and beliefs of who you have been up until now. But who you were yesterday, the circumstances of the past, do not dictate who you are today. You can let them guide you and clarify for you about who and what you want for the future, but do not let them define you. If you made a choice and it didn't work out the way you wanted, use the information in there, but don't beat yourself up. Every day, your consciousness is evolving. You have realizations about what works well for you, what nourishes you, and what doesn't. And many of us want change to happen in an instant, like now, and be done with it. But that's not the way life is. And it wouldn't be good for us to have all that we want at once. Life has gifted us with the power and time and space to grow steadily and surely, to observe the results, and to shift our actions or ideas or our perspective in order to move in a more beneficial direction. It takes some introspection because life is an inside-out process. It's our inner thoughts, ideas, and beliefs that are guiding our actions in the world and creating our circumstances. So the more we understand about ourselves, the easier it will be to make lasting change. If we can recognize that we have a program running, meaning a thought or behavior pattern, that is creating undesirable circumstances and limiting our happiness or progress, then we can decide to let it go. Sometimes we will even know exactly who planted the thought or idea in our heads. I remember a really valuable learning experience of this when I was just getting into mindfulness and meditation many years ago. I was at work and noticed a customer, a woman of advanced years who, let's just say, was showing off rather a lot of flesh in her scanty clothing. And a voice popped into my head and said, "Oh my God, cover it up. Who wants to look at all that?" Now, I didn't like having this thought, but in that moment, I observed it and I knew that it was not my thought, and I knew exactly whose thought it was. And we all have thoughts like these that are not our own, floating around in our consciousness, imposed on us by others, mostly well-meaning people, but let's face it, people with their own flawed ideas, who were just doing their best according to their own knowledge and circumstances, and who were probably sharing the conditioning that they received as children. This is the way that families can perpetuate misguided ideas across generations. But as adults, it is our responsibility to break the chain and clear ourselves of the dysfunction of the past. This will enable us to embrace the future we want and make those new habits stick. So we've got the past and we've got the future, but the power to change is in the present moment. Each moment is pregnant with the potential of new beginnings. The present moment is your point of power. Who you are today is creating who you will be in the future. Your thoughts and your focus of attention and the quality of that attention are determining your future circumstances. So, are they positive and life-enhancing, or negative and dragging you down? Either way, they dictate the quality of your present and future circumstances. If you are entertaining happy and joyful thoughts, you'll be feeling great in the present moment, and you'll also be attracting more of that quality, that tone, that frequency of energy into your life. And if you're snowed under by negative and desolate thoughts, you'll of course be feeling bad in the present moment and creating future circumstances based on that low vibration of energy. So how are you powering your now? Are you engaging in positive and nourishing thoughts that will fill your future with beneficence? The important thing to know here is that these are just thoughts. We can change our thoughts, and changing the way we think and being able to monitor our thoughts so that we only think thoughts that lead us where we want to go is the best thing we can do for ourselves to create a greater life, to live happily, and to fulfill the potential we are here on this earth to fulfill. So don't focus on the past. Let go of what happened in the past and be intentional with how you use your mind in the present moment. And that focus will lead you to greater tomorrows that are aligned with what you want to create in your life. Your thought is your creative power. The thoughts you energize here and now are the important thing. So you've got a clean slate. Who do you want to be? How are you going to put that powerfully creative mind of yours to work for you and not against you? You can use your mind in any way you choose. Now, I'm not getting into all the how-to stuff today, but I've covered it in other episodes. I suggest you go back to some of my first episodes and start there, like episode 3, the 3 phases of transformation and how to activate them in your life, and episode 4, how to liberate yourself from your self-sabotaging beliefs, thoughts, and habits. And episode 28, how to silence your inner critic, is another goodie. And also 38, what ideas and energies are fueling your life. And episode 43, what blocks you from manifesting your desires. Holy cow, I could keep going. Let's just throw in episode 47, change the stories you tell that keep you stuck. But feel free to go back into the archives and see what resonates with you and where you are now. Now, if you want to raise your vibration, you'll like this. In a few days, I'm starting my free 5-day challenge, The Fast Track to Joy, where I'll be sharing with you my top, easy, quick, and powerful techniques to get you connected to your inner source of joy so that you can get the joy flowing in your life and experience the beauty of that every day. We're focusing on learning and growing through joy rather than pain and struggle, which is the default way. Now that sounds good, right? If you'd like to take part, you can sign up at theinspirationcloud.com/joy. Each day of the challenge, I'll be emailing you a short practice that will only take a few minutes that will raise your vibration and have you abuzz with joy. Again, you can sign up at theinspirationcloud.com/joy. Okay, my friend, I'm off for now. So take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. I really hope you found it helpful and full of uplifting ideas that you can put into practice in your life. And if you have, chances are your friends and family will too. So please share it with them on social media. You'll be helping them to sort themselves out, because I bet you think they need it, right? But seriously, you'll also be doing me a huge favor, and I will be eternally grateful for your generosity. It would also be lovely if you would leave me a review on iTunes, preferably a nice one, please. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast while you're there. If you have any questions or would like me to address a certain topic, I'd love to hear from you. You can email me at info@theinspirationcloud.com. Have a good one, folks. Thanks again, and I'll see you next week.